Have you ever wondered why some elders suddenly experience sharp declines in health after a dream vacation? Or why that long-anticipated trip doesn't bring the joy it promised? This video is not just a warning, it's a wake-up call. Traveling can seem like a beautiful dream in our golden years, but for many, it becomes a silent trap. Today, we will uncover deep truths, surprising risks, and hidden wisdom about traveling after 70. And trust me, the last point in this video is something that no one dares to talk about, but it could save your life or the life of someone you love. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Faith Wisdom, where we reveal powerful life lessons, inspiring insights, and transformative truths. This isn't just a video, it's wisdom that could change the way you live your later years. Let's begin. Number 1. The illusion of endless time. There's a powerful lie sold to people after they retire. That now is the time to chase every experience, go to every destination, and live every fantasy they couldn't during their working years. But here's the truth. Aging changes everything. The body isn't as strong, the immune system isn't as fast, and the mind doesn't adapt as easily. What's even more dangerous is the illusion that you have all the time in the world to travel. In reality, your body is whispering a warning. It's not built for long-haul adventures anymore. What used to be a simple 3-hour flight might now cause days of discomfort, sleepless nights, or worse, medical emergencies. The idea of doing it all before it's too late often becomes the very reason things go wrong. People in their 70s and beyond may feel mentally ready for adventure, but physically they're entering a more delicate phase. Your heart, joints, lungs, and even digestion all slow down. When you force them into unfamiliar routines, different climates, or stressful transit systems, it's like stretching a rubber band to its breaking point. It might not snap at first, but it's only a matter of time. Number 2. The hidden toll on health. You don't see it on travel brochures, but behind every picture-perfect destination lies invisible stress on an elderly body. At 70 and beyond, your body reacts differently to heat, cold, altitude, and even food. Dehydration happens faster. Fatigue becomes harder to recover from. Minor infections spread quicker. These are not just inconveniences, they are potentially life-threatening risks. Think about this. Sitting in cramped airplane seats for hours increases the risk of deep vein thrombosis, blood clots that can travel to your lungs. Time zone changes disturb your circadian rhythm, affecting your sleep, energy levels, and mental clarity. Even walking on uneven cobblestone streets can result in falls that could break hips or cause brain injuries. And let's not forget medication. Most elderly travelers carry essential pills. But what happens if you lose them? Or if you need a refill in a foreign country where the same medicine doesn't exist or isn't legal? A vacation that was meant to be healing becomes a health hazard, and it happens more often than you think. The sad truth? Many people never talk about the health consequences of travel at an older age until something terrible happens. But you're not watching this video to be like everyone else. You're here for wisdom, and that means seeing danger before it arrives. Number 3. The psychological impact. No one talks about. Travel is romanticized, but in reality, it's full of delays, noise, unfamiliar environments, and constant change, all of which can become mentally and emotionally exhausting for someone in their 70s or older. Let's face it, your brain needs stability. It needs familiar routines, predictable environments, and peace. Travel, especially long or complex trips, offers the opposite. Seniors often experience travel-induced anxiety, confusion, and emotional burnout, especially when exposed to cultures or systems vastly different from their own. Something as simple as navigating an airport in a non-English-speaking country can trigger panic or disorientation. For those with early signs of memory loss or cognitive decline, these situations can accelerate deterioration rapidly. Loneliness is another hidden beast. You may travel with family or in groups, but being in a foreign land can still feel isolating, especially if others are more energetic or mobile. Many seniors report feeling like a burden during group trips, leading to guilt and emotional withdrawal. So, while Instagram shows smiles and sunsets, the mental toll of travel after 70 is often buried beneath the surface. What your mind craves now is not the chaos of airports, but the calm of nature, familiar faces, and moments of gratitude at home. Number 4. Financial pressure and emotional regret. It may seem harmless at first. Let's take one last big trip before it's too late. But travel is expensive, and in your 70s, every dollar spent on luxury is a dollar taken away from long-term security. Unexpected medical bills, assisted living expenses, or helping your family through emergencies. These costs can arrive suddenly and demand every bit of your savings. Many seniors don't realize how quickly money evaporates when traveling, from flight tickets and travel insurance to overpriced meals and souvenirs. And if something goes wrong medically during the trip, the financial consequences can be devastating. Not all insurance plans cover you abroad. Not all hospitals accept international patients without upfront cash. What's even worse? The regret that follows. Some travelers return home financially drained, physically broken, and emotionally shaken. They don't share the reality with others because admitting regret is hard, but deep down, they know they made a mistake. The idea that travel will complete your life often leads to emptier bank accounts and heavier hearts. But true wisdom isn't in chasing every thrill. It's in protecting your peace and your future. Number 5. The safety risks you can't control. No one wants to believe they'll be the one who slips, gets robbed, or has a medical emergency abroad. But the reality is this. Traveling after 70 increases your vulnerability in ways you may not realize. Elderly travelers are prime targets for scammers, thieves, and predators, especially in popular tourist destinations. Your slower movements, unfamiliarity with local customs, or even visible signs of age, like walking sticks or assistive devices, make you stand out. Criminals look for easy targets, and that's the brutal truth. But the risk doesn't stop with theft. What if you fall down the stairs of a hotel without an elevator? What if you're in a place with poor emergency services and no access to quality hospitals? What if you're caught in a natural disaster or civil unrest? You may not have the speed, strength, or language skills to respond effectively. Even simple accidents, like slipping in a hotel bathroom, can have catastrophic consequences after 70. What might be a sprain for a 40-year-old could become a fracture or surgery for a 75-year-old. And recovering from such injuries at this age takes longer and often leads to complications. Every time you pack a bag and step outside your safe space, you're not just embarking on a journey, you're rolling the dice. And while many might travel and return unharmed, those who face the worst outcomes often don't get a second chance. Number 6. The invisible strain on relationships. At 70 and beyond, traveling isn't just about logistics or physical endurance. It's about emotional dynamics, especially with family and companions. Many seniors find themselves unintentionally straining relationships when they travel with younger people. Why? Because the energy, pace, and expectations differ dramatically. Younger travelers may want to explore, hike, party, and hop from place to place, but seniors often need rest, slower schedules, and careful planning. This mismatch leads to frustration on both sides. Grandparents feel guilty for holding others back. Children feel impatient or burdened. Unspoken tension builds up. What started as a family bonding trip becomes an emotional battlefield. Even traveling with a spouse can be complicated. One partner may be more mobile or adventurous, while the other feels overwhelmed or exhausted. If one falls ill, the other carries the entire weight of responsibility, navigating foreign healthcare, translating languages, canceling reservations. It's not just exhausting, it's emotionally devastating. And let's not forget what happens after the trip. If someone experiences a fall, stroke, or stress-related condition while traveling, it can forever change the relationship dynamic at home. What once was equal becomes caretaker and dependent. Many seniors never recover their autonomy after a single travel incident. So, when you plan that dream vacation, ask yourself, is it worth risking the most valuable relationships in your life for a few days of escape? Because the true legacy you leave behind isn't in passport stamps. It's in the love and peace you protect at home. Number 7. The collapse of routine and stability. One of the most overlooked pillars of elderly well-being is routine. At 70 plus, the body and mind begin to rely more heavily on repetition, structure, and predictability. This is not weakness. It's wisdom your body has developed to function efficiently under the limitations of age. When you travel, that structure collapses. Sleep patterns get disrupted. Meals become irregular or unfamiliar. Exercise routines vanish. Bathroom schedules change. Medication timing shifts. Your brain gets overstimulated with new sights, sounds, smells, and environments, all of which increase cognitive stress. The elderly body doesn't adjust quickly. What a younger person might call a fun adventure becomes, for a senior, a biological storm. Many seniors experience what's called post-travel syndrome, a period of mental fog, digestion problems, insomnia, or even mild depression after returning from a trip. It can take weeks to recover, and for some, they never fully bounce back. Stability is not boring, it's sacred. It's what allows the elderly body to remain in balance, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Disrupting that balance too often or too drastically is like shaking a house built on soft ground. It may stand for now, but the cracks are already forming underneath. If you truly value your independence and long-term wellness, don't trade your stable life for temporary excitement. There is nothing wrong with peace, with stillness, with knowing your limits. In fact, that is where real wisdom begins. Number 8. Emergency scenarios that turn deadly fast. Let's talk about something most travel agencies will never tell you. When emergencies strike at 70 or older, the consequences are often swift and severe. A minor stomach infection can lead to hospitalization. A missed medication dose can trigger a serious condition. A simple trip and fall can become a surgery with months of recovery, or worse. Now, imagine these emergencies happen while you're thousands of miles from home. What will you do? Who will help you? Do you speak the local language? Do you know the nearest embassy? Does the hospital accept your insurance? What happens if your passport is stolen and you can't get home? Even if you're traveling with family, emergencies add intense stress. Your loved ones may be panicking, scrambling for help in an unfamiliar place, unable to focus. They might make mistakes in decisions or delay action, simply because they don't know what to do in that country. Seconds matter, and delays are deadly. Some people never make it back home. It's a harsh truth. Thousands of seniors pass away abroad every year. And the worst part? Their families have to go through unimaginable pain and expense to recover their bodies, deal with foreign law, and navigate diplomatic red tape. Don't believe for a second that these are rare, freak cases. They are more common than you think, and they happen to ordinary people just like you, who wanted one last adventure. But adventure isn't worth your life. Not at this age, not when the risks are so real and irreversible. Number 9. The spiritual consequence of dying far from home. This is the part no one wants to hear, but it's the most important truth in this entire video. It's not about health, not about money, it's about your soul. There is something deeply spiritual about aging. In your 70s, whether you admit it or not, you are drawing closer to the edge of this life. And in many wisdom traditions, this phase is not about collecting new experiences, it's about preparing for peace, for legacy, for stillness, for surrender. When you travel constantly, chasing distractions in distant lands, you may be avoiding something far more important, the inner journey. The journey of self-reflection, reconciliation, and spiritual grounding. Many people die before completing it, not because time ran out, but because they kept running away from stillness. And if you were to die abroad, far from your family, your traditions, your home soil, what does that mean for your spirit, for your legacy, for those who love you? You may leave behind confusion, pain, and unfinished spiritual business. There may be no funeral according to your beliefs, no closure for your children, no prayers said in your language, no final goodbye. We are not just bodies moving through airports. We are souls carrying memories, love, and meaning. At this sacred age, your soul deserves rest, not risk. It deserves calm, not chaos. Home is not just where you live, it's where your soul finds peace. So before you pack that suitcase, ask yourself, are you running towards something or running from yourself? It's time to return, not just to your house, but to your heart, to your purpose, to the people who need your wisdom. You don't need the world's approval, you just need peace. Final words and call to action. You've made it to the end of this video, and that tells me one thing. You are someone who seeks wisdom, not noise. You care about your future, your health, your family, and your soul. If this message touched your heart, if it opened your eyes, then let it guide your steps from now on. Don't let the world rush you into adventures you no longer need. Let others chase the wind. You've already earned the calm. And before you go, remember this. Subscribe to our channel, Faith Wisdom. Here, we don't just give you content, we give you clarity. We don't just speak words, we speak truth. And we'll be right here, walking with you on the journey of a wise, peaceful, and powerful life. Thank you for watching, and may your next journey be inward,